little jack-o'-lantern kid. Stay away from me.
Yeah, my wife would agree with you. She hates this movie, and Sam's a big reason. Hello and welcome to Library Grindhouse. The only thing you need is your library card. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah. And today we'll be reviewing the 2007 film Trick or Treat.
All right, Leah, but first, why don't you hit him with that spoiler-free plot summary?
This interlocking horror anthology leads us to a small town that is overrun with classic, scary, supernatural entities on Halloween night. This movie demonstrates that some Halloween traditions and tales are best not to be forgotten. Don't forget to check your candy, look under the bed, and make sure to keep your jack-o'-lanterns burning all Halloween night long.
All right, Leah, what's number 3 on your list of reasons to watch this particular film?
Oh, my number 3 reason is that it's a horror anthology. I know that I stated that in the 1-minute synopsis, but I love anthology films. And this one actually ties together very nicely. It comes full circle right up until the very last second.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Wasn't the tightest anthology.
I mean,
it tries to be.
Yeah.
It makes a concerted effort to be super tight.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I mean, there's different places that, without giving anything away, like it ties in certain characters without knowing that
it weaves in and out very nicely.
Yeah,
very nicely. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, number 3 on mine here. I'm a sucker for werewolves, and the werewolves in this movie are pretty great. For a low budget affair. I mean, werewolves aren't traditionally been portrayed as like sexy or anything, but they leaned into that here in an awesome way by twisting the predator-prey dynamic of Little Red Riding Hood, and I was here for it.
Yes, I agree. And I will say that their transformation scene, that was pretty gnarly. I will give them that.
It just reminds me of the box art for In the Company of Wolves that's on Canopy. I remember seeing that box as a kid, and I'm just like, that looks crazy.
Well, I feel like sometimes like the transformation scenes get lost, or else they're really stupid, or else they don't, you know what I mean? Like
they're hard.
It is hard.
It's really hard. Like it's so, like to do it well and on camera is an art. I mean, Rick Baker and American Werewolf in London, I mean, legend for a reason. I mean, that was crazy. But you know, there's also like the old movies where it's like they'd go behind a pillar, put some makeup on, go behind the next pillar, more makeup. So as they walked through, they'd cut with each of the pillars, and by the end, they've got the whole makeup on. But there's kind of fun ways to get around it. And
I agree.
I enjoy, on camera, or if they could find a fun way to do it off camera, it's good too. Good. Yeah. Sorry, Lee, what's your number 2?
My number 2. So, it is that Sam is the creepiest little demon creature I have ever seen in my entire life. He is the whole reason why this movie is actually scary, with his really creepy sucker thing that he goes around with. Well, it is sucker. I don't know why I call it a sucker thing. But yes, scariest part of the entire movie, I am here for Sam. But yes, Sam is creepy. He is the whole reason why this movie is creepy. I watched this movie in college, and I remember being horrified. And rewatching it again, it wasn't as scary, except for the parts with Sam in it. Creepy little jack-o'-lantern kid. Stay away from me.
My wife would agree with you. She hates this movie, and Sam's a big reason.
He is creepy.
All right, cool.
What's your number 2, Jesse?
Number 2. Character Sam's crazy iconic. And it's amazing there hasn't been a sequel given the movie's success, at least on disc. It didn't really do anything in theaters. And streaming, given Legendary's penchant for franchises like the Monsterverse and Pacific Rim, which it was wild seeing like basically what's kind of an independent film, a looking film, like a smaller quote-unquote film with Legendary's logo on the front. Like I'm used to like giant movies, literally giant mechs or giant kaiju, or mechs and kaiju in the case of Pacific Rim with the Legendary logo in front of it. Like, I mean, there's no King Kong. I mean, Sam looms large.
Yes. Definitely.
But we're not talking King Kong.
That is true.
I mean,
that is true.
Like that's what I associate with Legendary. So it's kind of cool to see like this little teensy film with that logo. Yeah. It's cool. All right, Leah, what's your number 1 reason?
All right, my number 1 reason is this movie shows what happens to bullies when you're a bully. I love that this movie actually, every person who comes to a pretty bad ending, I guess, except for the people who have already been deceased.
Okay.
Meet their fate. They made their bed and they had to lay in it. Like it's one of those types of Where the people who you really don't like, they get the ending that you want.
Justifiable homicide.
Yeah.
Huh?
That makes it sound so bad. But it's just like, when you're bad things happen to you. Be prepared.
But in a way that's not like the old 80s, like if you have sex, do drugs, that kind of thing. Like it turns that kind of on its head, where it's like, and it's often like you're transgressing Halloween.
Yeah, kind of.
There's at least a couple that they get killed because they transgress the rules of Halloween, which that's kind of a fun. I like kind of the rules thing. You don't blow out the light in your pumpkin until morning. Even though we use electric, I don't turn them off until before I leave for work the next morning. So I guess this movie did have an effect on me.
Yeah, we just leave the tea light on until it burns out. Like if it burns out, then it's done.
Does that count though? Because you didn't tend your lamp, your light? I mean, I don't know.
Blame my mother. No.
There you go.
I don't know, but yeah. I just like I like that justification with the. I don't know. I guess that just left an impact on me because I feel like most of the time
it's satisfying. These bad, awful people. Bad, awful things happen to them, but it feels like, like
that's right. You deserve
you go,
that.
yeah.
That sounds really bad, but like in a horror film, usually there's gonna be people that die that you actually liked.
Let's not lie. You watch Friday the 13th for the kills. You don't watch them for the characters you genuinely like and care about.
That is true.
It's
What's your number one reason?
My number one reason is. Let's see here. The interconnectedness of the stories is really well done for an anthology horror film. It didn't feel forced or contrived, and I really enjoyed how characters from the various parts that kind of interacted. Mm-hmm. Even though it didn't always fit together, like I mentioned earlier, you know what? They went for something, and it largely worked.
Yeah.
And I can't knock it. And I think that's kind of the main reason to watch it is just everything ties together pretty well.
Yeah.
Which this could fall apart very easily, and it's tight enough. It's fun to poke holes in.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll care.
Well,
too
and
much.
also, what I feel like whenever I mention a horror anthology film, I feel like there's an overarching story and then there's random little stories in there. Like for Creepshow, the little stories don't really interconnect with each other too much.
Other than like they'd be in the same issue of like a Creepshow comic or something like that. Yeah.
And other horror anthologies kind of do the same thing, like with VHS.
Yes.
Does that too, where it's like there's
as a frame story.
Yeah, but this. Really, there wasn't a frame story other than it's just the town on Halloween.
And if you're hungry for more, there's a graphic novel you can check out. I think we still have it. I'll have to double check on that. The director also did something similar for the holidays with Krampus. So if you like this one and haven't seen Krampus, check that one out. It's not an anthology, but it's still worth checking out, I think, on disc.
I was sad that the rewatchability of this one, which I'm sure we don't want to promote, but
it's when you watch once, and if you come and you're like, man, that was kind of cool. And if you come back to it later, it does kind of have diminishing returns for some reason.
I feel like it was cool just because of the shock value of some of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the, the Scooby-Doo revealing.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first time you watch, you're like, oh, wow, okay. But then the second time, you're just like,
But there were some twists I'd forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
So that worked for me. Because I saw it way back in I want to say 2009, 2010.
Okay.
So it'd been 12 years at least, if not more, since I'd seen the film. So it was I remembered a lot of it, but then I was just like, oh, wait, I forgot. That guy was there and she was there or whatever. And so that was kind of fun. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you watch it once and then wait about 12 years before you watch it again, and I think you'll have an okay experience. I was kind of sad I forgot that it was a Bad Hat Harry production, which it means it was produced by Bryan Singer. Some unfortunate allegations there, which kind of bums me out, but anyway, I feel like that has to be brought up just because it's kind of the elephant in the room with this movie because it's kind of front and center. But the bad thing is, if it wasn't for him probably championing it, this movie probably wouldn't have gotten made. So it's like, I don't know how to feel about it. But anyway, that is a thing. Well, anyway, those are reasons to check out Trick or Treat. So head on over to Canopy to check it out for yourself and be quick because this one may disappear tonight. Yes. I'm not sure if it'll stay into October. Hopefully it will if you're lucky. If we're all lucky, because this is a pretty good movie. But anyway, watch it tonight if you can. Anyway, for Live at Grindhouse, I'm Jesse.
And I'm Leah.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.